Legendary moments will be captured. So stand up, scream, and make sure the boys feel you.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Well, good evening, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman, coming live from my mama's basement with my partner in crime, Primetime Phil. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Yeah, I happen to be on the second floor over the garage, so I feel a little bit more, I'm a VIP, so I don't have the basement, but I have the over the garage.
I don't have a basement either. That's just like a saying out to our buddy, our buddy out there there's the star.
Godfather.
Like, I just need your bell, and the 65
Dude, I haven't seen that bell in a while now.
And the 65-person staff or whatever, 75-person staff that we have. But I just want to say welcome, everybody. We got news. Let me turn my light on. Hey, there we go. We got news here. We got breaking news. Phil, tell everybody the news since you brought it to my attention, along with Ultra Cowboy. Tell everybody what just happened.
So it looks like Zimmer has his leader of the defense that he's at least going to be able to show what his defense can do, to teach the other linebackers, teach other guys to get in position. So he goes from being a 49ers possible linebacker in a backup position to definitely a starter and mentor in Eric Kendricks. Not a really big surprise there. A good name. Obviously, he's in his 30s now. So, how much can you expect? But again, is it an elevation? Is it better than what we've had in-house? Definitely yes. And so I think that's a great signing.
I figured it was the right signing. I figured that, he played with the Chargers last year, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I figured they offered him something, but, yeah, he didn't have to basically go too far. He was going from the Chargers to the
so they're showing it on NFL Network right now. So it's the
49ers. There he is, Ultra Cowboys. Somebody blocked him. Like, we got to stop blocking people. So because of that,
and so Chiz Cowboy Daily says that Wagner went to Washington.
Yes.
Again, we are not be surprised at all. It's just why didn't he want him when he was there? He's got a better
memory than I have. Just lay out and listen. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I feel like the dude from Dirty Dancing. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. But tell everybody all the moves that we called weeks ago.
Wow, man! I think the first one you have to automatically say is Tony Pollard. We were saying weeks ago. We were saying, like, if you look at the last video, which I had like 2-3 weeks ago. We were talking about how Tony needed to go back home. Just go back to Tennessee. That's exactly where you're going to end up. To us, it makes the most sense. Henry's going to be out of there, probably most likely going to the Ravens. We would love Premier as a Cowboy, but it makes the most sense of the Ravens. And the Ravens are just one of those front offices that will go out and make a move like that. You just know he was going to look really good in that Ravens purple and black. Those two we nailed right off the bat. Some of the other ones, there were some ones where there's some frustrating ones where that Armstrong was going to go to Washington. That wasn't really surprising.
And let's stop there for a second. Yeah, let's just talk about that one. The Armstrong to Washington people, $15 million. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out as well.
Listen.
But we knew he was going to go over there. That's what we called. We knew that. We knew Fowler was going to just go right behind it. We're not surprised there. We expect a little bit more. Tyler Biotis, maybe a little bit more of a surprise.
Again, he got $10 million per. I'm out. again, 10 million. He can't get to the second level, and he can't get to the linebackers. Anybody big, he was getting blowed back. He wasn't horrible. We're definitely going to miss his quarterbacking of the offensive line, but I'm out on 10 million. Again,
I agree.
Phil, who, and I'll get to the chat, everybody, who have we lost that you're crushed about? To me, and I'll let
Hankins.
you.
I mean, that isn't a closed book either. I mean, Hankins is the one I could see coming back.
But I mean, but he's still on sign.
But he's still on sign, yeah.
Who have we lost that you're like, oh my God, we should have gotten him back? Nobody, right? No. In my opinion.
I'm trying to think back. No.
I mean,
Neville Gallimore goes to Miami. I've been wanting Neville Gallimore gone for the past 2 years. So I mean, I thought he was. So that's where I was wrong. I thought he was going to be a Raider. So there it is. There's where I was wrong about who was going somewhere. I for sure thought he was going to be a Raider. It just made more sense to me. So I mean, let's see. I mean, you got Tony Pollard obviously going to Tennessee. Tyler Biadasz going to Washington. Dorrance Armstrong going to Washington.
You got Fowler, who I thought was a better pass rusher than Dorrance. I understand Dorrance is a better overall player, but as far as like quarterback pressure, it seemed like Fowler had less snaps and got a lot of pressure. I think it'll be interesting to see Dorrance with the more snaps, how he's going to do. It just, and I got a lot of Eagle people in here. Congratulations on a hell of an offseason. If
so far so good.
If there was an offseason award,
but they got a lot of holes. Yeah,
if there was an offseason award, I'd give you one. But unfortunately, you got to play the games.
See,
but
here's the thing. Can I take a perspective that nobody has? Man, if you really think about it, we've said this a couple of times very quickly, but it hasn't been pushed out there. Man, this is the time. If you were ever to think that the Cowboys are going to reset things, this is really the year that's right before that move. Are you going to have enough moves to really make a push into the playoffs and make even a playoff berth, or are you going to get you're going to be pushing for a top pick? You don't have possible coaches coming back. You don't have Dak possibly coming back if you don't get an extension done. So there's a lot of possibilities of a reset. And those guys you're doing the extensions, or not extensions, but like, oh, we restructured his contract so we can get under the thing. Those are guys that you're going to be here. Zach Martin, Trayvon Diggs. These are guys that are part of your future. And but I look at it also too that, man, if they're trying to say, oh well, we can't negotiate the contracts and stuff like that,
spicy
too. It looks like it's a big possibility of a big reset after this year.
Reset is a good way to put it. Reset is the exact way to put it. A lot of the writers are saying rebuild. We just remember, every year an NFL roster is turned over 40%. So when you say rebuild, I don't like that word, because I believe Dak's coming back. Whether we like Dak or not, he's probably coming back. CD's going to get signed. We have.
I would say the Dak thing is more of a 65-70% that he's coming back.
It's not what it was, but he's going to be back this year. We can guarantee.
Oh yeah, definitely there. Yeah.
So that's how I look at that. We'll see. We shall see. The main guy I would bring back is Gilmore. We need to have Gilmore back for that veteran, also the veteran presence. But let me get to the chat here. Oscar Perini, Vinny Hagan, Brad Harris. What's up, Brad? Nike 3, what's up, brother? Twiz, there's my guy.
To me, Catboy, man, spending stuff in free agency is like working out. You need to take that first step, and now get your lazy ass out there and do it some more.
Crystal Caramel Corn, Chiz Cowboys Daily, Hamid. What up, Hamid? Vinny Hagan, I think I said, let's get to it. I saw Ultra Cowboy. What's up, man? Loyal Cowboy, what up, what up? Let's see. Stephen Brown, what's going on, my man? Troy Hagan, what's up, buddy? How are you? Elena Walker, how are you, Elena? Congratulations on a hell of a week by your squad. Hector, what's up, man? I think Renfro signed. He says AJ Dillon, I believe Hunter Renfro was signed by somebody, but can somebody look that up for me? Wagner, yes, Chiz Cowboys. Wagner went to Washington, like Phil said. We kind of knew that was coming.
We kind of saw it coming, yeah.
Ultra has a question. What about trading the 5th-round comp pick for Dameon Pierce instead of signing free agent running back for $1 to $3 million?
You're talking about the wrestler? from the.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna do that, Ultra. I don't know if you heard. They're talking to Dylan. They're talking. I'm curious what Ultra would do. I have an idea, but AJ Dillon or possibly bringing back Ezekiel Elliott. Now we're talking a third down back for Zeke. Now we're going to draft one, whoever you like. You know, I like Trey Benson. I like Braylon Allen. There's a few that I like. So
there's a lot of short running backs though in this draft.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of short running backs, but if
I'm a big fan. See, my guys aren't those. Of course, Trey Benson is my top guy. But
like
because
Wright?
I watched him in college. No, I'm not a big Jalen Wright fan. I like Mayan Williams from Ohio State. I like Rashawn Lloyd from USC.
Yeah, I like Lloyd a lot.
Weirdly enough, I kind of like Frank Gore Jr. in the way that he runs a little bit.
How about Ray Davis? He's a little short for me, but I like Ray Davis.
And I think Frank Gore as well, Jr. is a little bit short as well too. But he definitely runs dynamically. So there's guys there. It's just I don't see the big workload kind of back. And
you know who I don't
unless
like?
you're trading for him, I don't have very big hopes on that department.
I don't like the Notre Dame running back. I'm not a big fan of Audric.
Have you seen that quarterback, Sam Hartman? That dude's like a supermodel, man.
Will Shipley. I'm not a big fan of Will Shipley. Jonathan Brooks. It'll be curious to see where Jonathan Brooks goes out of Texas.
Was an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I mean, because
boats and hose, baby.
You kind of forget about him a little bit because of the injury. But no, that could be a dynamic one as well too.
I say it again.
So I mean, when you look at some of these things we were talking about, of course, you were talking about Baker Mayfield in the sense of signing with the Buccaneers, and then we had some switching around though. We had Flacco going to Indianapolis, right? So Flacco takes his old ass to Indianapolis. Good for him. Minshew gets a contract with the
show,
Raiders. The Raiders go and get Minshew. They release Jimmy G. I was going to say Jimmy P, but like Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And so I mean, there's some quarterbacks being switched around here. I got Washington. Then they signed Mariota.
Yeah. Well, you know why Flacco's not in Cleveland. You know why, right?
They just signed Jameis Winston.
They signed.
They just signed Jameis Winston.
We're playing quarterback shuffle here.
Yeah, man. Just like when the music stops, you pick a quarterback, man.
Damn.
Like,
well, you know.
And can I stop real quick? Let me jump in there. And we're spending the most money on quarterbacks. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are spending the most out of anybody on all the quarterbacks.
Well,
that's why I think Cooper Rush has to kind of walk. You got to get rid of Cooper Rush a little bit there.
Kendricks will be huge in Clark's and Overshone's overall development. He diagnoses real well. Yeah, he may not have the foot speed, and I said this, I believe, on our last live stream, Phil, that I would be okay with Wagner or Kendricks, but if I had to choose, I would want Kendricks over Wagner because he knows Zimmer's defense. I know him a lot from him being in Philly. The dude is not what he was foot-wise, but again, he's going to be able to help everybody.
Better than what we had.
Yeah.
Damone Clark, quit taking that step to the left. When the run's going to the right, he'll help him with those type of things. But that's what Zimmer does as well, too, man. Those linebackers and defensive linemen tend to shine. And it really allows their secondary to kind of do their thing as well too, because you always remember their secondary, those boomers in the safety department there.
Game time. Are you panicking yet? The Commanders are better than you guys. Now, and you're playing, and I made a joke early on just based on. I got to be honest with you, but with all the money that Washington has had, I'm actually very disappointed with the moves that they've made.
Yeah. I was gonna say
they made a lot of moves that are like, okay, you're blowing money just to blow money. Go get a stud, Louvu. Yeah, I like Frankie Louvu.
I think they've improved definitely. Do they think they're better than us? No, but I was thinking they're getting better than us, and they're on the way to becoming better than us. But I mean, they are signing people. That's the thing. But again, where do they finish in the division? Where do they finish in the conference?
Marcus Blackman, how are you, brother? Sports Junkie, what's up? What up?
So they have a lot to improve on. So I'm interested to see, because once you break down their positioning, okay, who do they have at quarterback? Who are they going to have? And of course, the draft. Once they have the draft, the second pick of the draft, are they picking their quarterback then? So there's a lot of questions there. That once the training camp comes, then you can break them down to position. Okay, who's their guy at quarterback? Okay, who's their running back? What do they sign? Who do they sign at running back? They write Eckler, right?
Yeah, Austin Eckler. I like him.
Yeah, so great running back pick up for that. So I mean, they're doing moves. I mean, you got to give them that.
I just meaning the Biotis, meh. Armstrong overpay. Yeah. Okay,
it's better than what they had. Tyler is better than what they had at center. So I mean,
again,
are they
better than what they
too,
had, and a championship type of guy are two different things. Wagner, that's not our guy, but.
He's better than what they had.
Fowler. Yeah. League Commander. Welcome, League Commander. League Commander says Dorrance Armstrong will greatly benefit from the Commander's 2 stud tackles and didn't have the luxury in Dallas. I agree. In theory, that would work, but the 2 stud tackles did not play very studly. That's the problem.
It's the same defensive coordinator that's running it as well, too. Let's just be real.
We actually signed someone in free agent. Yes. Long snapper is Trent Sieg, buddy.
I wonder if it was accidental, though. That's
right. Okay, Sheldon Rankins is gone. He signed with the Bengals. Okay. All right. Okay. What's up, Mark Holmes? How are you, brother? Twiz, we still haven't signed the damn linebacker. Yeah, you've signed everybody else, though. So you do have a lot of draft picks.
You got some guys.
You might be losing one, but you still have a lot. Did you hear that, Phil?
What's that?
Eagles may be losing a draft pick.
Oh, no, for a tampering thing?
Well, if they find them guilty of it, but I just curious. Because the coach or Howie was talking to Saquon before the actual signing period. You could talk to the agent.
They pushed the wrong tush. I got you.
Yeah, so you're not. That's one of those stupid rules. I think it's dumb, but what the hell? If you're allowed to tamper, talk to the friggin' player. Do you use regular or spicy mustard? I told you I'd like the spicy. Give me the spicy. I like it spicy.
Yeah,
spicy.
But let's be real, Philly D. If they don't get something on the offensive line, that it doesn't matter how explosive. They're not going to have time to do shit. If they don't
Felix?
Do at least a couple of moves on that offensive line.
Yeah.
It's like you can't go out there with the exact same roster as you did the year before and add draft picks and be like, oh, yeah, we're a better team. Like, that's not – you have the exact same people moving over except for you lost some people and you're expecting to be a better team. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, Ultra Cowboy says what I think and what if Primetime has been preaching. Losing Fowler and Armstrong, it's a great to have depth, and that's the one thing about last year's team that we had an unbelievable depth. We didn't have a lot of injury in those areas. They all seem to be linebacker and other areas. We kind of dodged the injury bug outside of the linebacker. But he says Sam Williams 10 to 12 sacks. We kind of think that. Those other guys are progress stoppers. We're going to know right away. We're going to know whether Sam Williams is the real deal or not because he's going to get a chance to play. And I think Zim could help him.
Pioneer, he goes, but Howie wants to win way more than Jerry. It's not that. It's that Howie can actually get fired. Jerry can't get fired.
That's it. That's what I was trying to say earlier with Mark that I know I got a frog in my throat. So that's what I was trying to say earlier with Mark that we have a general manager, whoever you want to, I don't give a shit what they say about Jerry. Steven's running the team. Steven's doing what he wants. Jerry's just being Jerry. He's the Al Davis. He just likes to talk. But he ain't going to fire himself. Howie Roseman, if he were to have another year like last year, who knows? Now, I don't know that he would get fired, but that Dracula would be gone. I'm just happy that we finally picked up somebody. Yeah, Thomas Garrett. Eric Hendricks, we kind of figured, what was I telling everybody that we needed? We needed a veteran linebacker, and we need to draft one. Okay, so
2, maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean, we could use another veteran, but you know what I mean.
Interior,
we got Overshown, we got Damone Clark. We could use another veteran out there if Devin White wants to come. Come on down. You're the next contestant on We're Cheap as Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Brian Harding,
Let's
what's
make
up,
a
my man?
deal. Remember that?
Yeah, let's
show?
make a deal. What's behind? I'll take what's behind curtain number 3. And you
in
open
this
the curtain.
episode, Stephen Jones goes from yard sale to yard sale to see if he can find a linebacker for his new defense. Let's see if he can negotiate this one.
What's up, Malik Savage? Go watch Sam into the fastest sacks on one of those. Yeah, Milata. Yeah, Milata. Yeah. Definitely ultra. Sorry, I'm eating some ice because my throat.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, my connection.
Eric Wallace, what's up, buddy? Prime time. Excuses for not tackling Philly D.
For what? For the linebackers, or what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we start tackling like. I mean, there were some guys in there like Bell. For a little guy, he was definitely getting in there.
Philly D.
There was no linebackers and there was no
Millville zone.
no tackle.
Philly D. Millville zone. Marquise Bell. He was 205 pounds out of college, playing linebacker most of the year. Think about that.
And you talk about taking a pay cut. Like, okay, here's the thing, Clemente. Yeah, like Gallimore takes a little bit of a pay cut.
Wallace.
But man, you look at like Wilson and the pay that he took with the Steelers. I mean, that's definitely helping them out a lot. I mean,
6'1", 237.
I'm a little surprised.
Trayvon Wallace was just visited Dallas out of Kentucky. They have him. The site I'm looking at has him at around 84-ish. So we're looking 3rd round. Is that about right, Ultra? About a 3rd round guy. Hey, Tayana, how are you? Asman 30. Kendricks could down a Guadalajara as soon as he wakes up. That's how good he is. All right. No, he's all right. He's old, but he's old but reliable.
Oh, busted hotness.
Prime time is on another level from Slay. The name I am watching is B.J. Jones. 1 year left on his deal. Could be like the Gilmore deal. B.J., oh, yeah, I can see that. Game time. The beatdown at the hands of the Packers shook Jerry like no other loss before. So he's willing to lame duck everybody, including Dak. Lead commander, that sounds like something that Jimmy Johnson would tell Jerry to do. Keep everybody on edge for a few months. But I could honestly see, Phil, I could see us in training camp extending Mike McCarthy, extending Zimmer. I think the Dak deal gets done by training camp. I'm sorry, Ultra. CD Lamb. I think that's what's going to happen. I think CD is actually the first domino to drop out of all of them. I think that's what can happen. I think that they're making everybody sweat.
On Justin Jefferson's contract?
Yeah, I saw a rumor where they said Justin Jefferson to Cincinnati Bengals, they might be a trade partner. So my question to you is, who the hell would they have to get back? You'd have to get what's his name, right?
AJ Green?
Not AJ Green.
Not AJ. Sorry.
Well,
Chase.
They got Jamar Chase.
Jamar
Chase. The other guy that they just franchised.
T. Higgins?
T. Higgins. Maybe Cincinnati. Could you imagine that duo? You give T. Higgins and let's say a number 1 pick in Minnesota for Justin Jefferson. Or a 2 and a 5 or something like that for Justin Jefferson's ass. That would be a killer deal.
The Vikings have started resetting, so I mean
What's up?
But that's like a
What's
main
up,
piece
Roro?
that you would want to build around.
Well, Aurora Samoza, he's a local boy. He kind of didn't want to go. I mean, he's going to go where the money goes,
Yeah, he's a Penn State guy.
He's a Penn State guy, exactly. So he's fine. He he wants to stay close to his family. And I got news for you. I don't care. You got a couple mean email replies about, I thought Henry wanted to go to Dallas. Oh, he did want to go to Dallas. There's no doubt his agent contacted the Cowboys. There's no doubt about that. Dallas wasn't paying the money. And listen, he was a guy that, and once the salary cap balloons to what it did, now everybody had money. Now everybody's spending stupid. because you got to understand something, Phil. Not everybody has the fan base that now the Eagles are doing it, and their waiting list is 50 years long for season tickets. So everybody not named the Eagles here. A lot of these smaller teams, they need to do stuff in free agency to bring people back.
Here's as well. It's like you got to do the mixture of both, and that's where the Cowboys is losing it. But if you don't do well in the draft, you also set the team back as well, because you can't pick up everybody in free agency. You can't trade for everybody because eventually it starts to come back around. The salary cap will start to hit you. You can do that for a couple of years, but you got to calm down after that. Unfortunately, I think that's where the Cowboys are. All this shifting of money and stuff like that with all these bigger contracts. They have to sit still unless they're going to do something with their two main guys. But I mean,
Wilson,
to me,
Santiago, could they afford that though?
Could they afford what?
Joey Bosa will listen to his mom and play with his brother.
I mean, to me, you can afford anybody if you can just manipulate the cap right. But it's up to them to do it, right? It's up to them to want to do it.
Twiz, I'm thank you for being 100%, my man, because I pay attention to people. Twiz wants a damn linebacker. He's old school.
See me when I look at Barkley, like
he likes
he's
Barkley,
a little bit better than
he
Swift.
likes CJ, but
I like Swift. I thought Swift was a hell of a running
up,
back.
Lady Lieber?
You would have got a hell of a drift discount if you would have just kept Swift.
Loyal Cowboy. Signing Kendrick is like signing a Chevy Blazer with 200,000 miles. I thought you said they gave him a Chevy Blazer and $200,000. No. Oh, he's fine, Loyal. He's fine. I'm listening to you, Phil. Sorry.
No, that's really good.
The chat is flying, so.
See, I really like Swift. I thought he was a really good running back. So I think, but again, Barkley is really good. I think the injury thing thing is always going to be a question. But if you put him against up on a good line, I think he could definitely have a lot of success. But I've yet to see it in the NFL. I mean, I've seen him do a little bit flashes with New York, but again, I can't really compare the two. Right? New York hasn't had that offensive line that Philly can have, but they are losing some pieces now too, so they have to replace those. But I think they're in a really good position as well to do that in the draft.
Yeah. Trade Dak and Parsons for a first round a QB. We're not doing that. No name. Parsons isn't going anywhere, so let's just stop. I can't. I could entertain some stuff, but how much better is Barkley than Swift? In fact, Swift is way better runner because between the tackles. I love Swift, and something tells me Twiz would rather have Swift and Patrick Queen than Barkley.
And that's a little bit surprising.
I
was surprised that he went to the Steelers. I was a little surprised that he went to the Steelers.
I was kind of hoping. I'm actually happy they didn't get Patrick Queen.
Oh, trust me, I'm very happy they didn't go there. Exactly.
Because
that's what I thought he was going to go with.
Eagles have a lot of draft picks, but Patrick Queen is a proven commodity. So I kind of think if I'm Philly, I want Queen.
If you would have spent that money that you spent on Barkley on Queen, then that would have been
and then bring back.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Or give me a Joe Mixon. I love Joe Mixon. He does everything great. That was. That's a perfect running back for me, Joe Mixon. Yeah, he does it all. But I mean, I get it. Twiz, no Queen for me. He's a product of Roquan.
Yeah, but I mean, Roquan wasn't there with him. I mean, he
I
left.
know Philly D. They're saying Swift can't block. I get it. Saquon ain't a damn. He ain't a fullback back there. He's okay. Exactly. He's better. I'll take Saquon over CJ and Queen Swift. Well, listen, Saquon is sexy in Nike 3. Not going to lie to you. He's a sexy player. Like I was saying, Mark, earlier, Phil. If Saquon finds the same drink that CMC found when he went from Carolina to San Fran, you know what I mean?
If he can stay healthy, he'll have a great season. If he can stay healthy, he'll have a great season.
Carolina traded him for one reason. He couldn't stay healthy. Then he goes to San Fran and he's put together a couple good, great seasons. So Barkley has never stayed healthy. If he could stay healthy and stay fresh all year, hell of a signing. Hell of a signing. You got yourselves arguably the best back in the league, but There is a risk there. But hey, listen, I would be happy to have Howie as my GM because at least he's putting his nuts on. Well, I can't say that. He's putting himself out there. You know what I mean? He's putting himself out there. Pause. But
yeah, I definitely don't agree with that. I definitely don't think Barkley is one of the better blocking backs.
I don't know that he's one of the better blocking.
I've seen him whip so many times with linebackers and defense.
He's better than Swift. I'll give
he's better than Tony Pollard. I mean, yeah, he's better than Tony Pollard. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
he's better than Deuce Vaughn. I'll give you that.
I put him in the middle of the pack, maybe towards that, but I definitely wouldn't put him as one of the best. I mean,
he has, but he's been hurt too, buddy. Philly D. But again, I'm not here to shit on Saquon. I'm really not.
Yeah, true. And Barkley has been the center of New York's offense compared to CMC, where, I mean, Carolina, most of the time they had a quarterback they could lean on in some way where there was somebody that could make a play, at least that quarterback, that you were focusing more on that. Now, in that 49ers offense, he doesn't have to be the main guy. A lot of times he'll be the fourth or fifth guy to touch it. Then he'll touch it like 4 or 5 times in a row, but still.
Brad, man, you're allowed your own opinion, man. I'm not always. I just have an opinion. We all have opinions, so it is what it is. I just think Barkley, just when he played us. Now, I understand that Barkley, his offensive line was ass. So I'm giving you that I expect him to be better with the Eagles. But
yeah, I'm interested.
-2, 2, 1, 3, 4, -2, 4, 50. And he'll bang one. And he's always banged one against us, but I don't know. It is what it is. Saquon, a 3-down back. Swift wasn't. Here's the deal, Twiz. In this day and age, and the Eagles invented this, in my opinion. They invented the running back by committee that's unbelievably successful. We had Zeke Elliott, right? We were flexing on Zeke. Zeke was a beast early on. But name the last Super Bowl winner that had a running back that was a 3-down guy. I mean, they are there, but look at the Chiefs, The Eagles won. Who was their running backs when the Eagles won? Boston Scott, the other dude that's not even there anymore. So I would just say normally the rushing leader doesn't win the Super Bowl type of deal. That's all.
No name. I think that has a lot to do with our offensive line. I mean, when I look at those problems that we're having in kind of passing, or I wasn't looking at the wide receivers going, man, those wide receivers weren't doing their job, or Dak wasn't doing his job. I saw there was a lot of, okay, he has to hurry up and go through his progressions because the line isn't giving him time. So that's where I saw the problems. And then they weren't blocking well to get the offensive. Because think about how many times Mike McCarthy just ran it up the middle and they would just hit a wall. And there was no movement at all from Tyler Biadasz. So that's the part where it's just as much as it sucks because you had a good center there, you can always improve.
Blunt and Ajayi. There you go. LeGarrette Blunt, Jay Ajayi. Exactly. Jay Ajayi out of DeMarcus Lawrence.
Is that who the Cowboys are going for now?
No, that was who sense. Won the Super Bowl. Yeah,
that would make sense.
We're bringing Jay Ajayi, him and his one leg. But yeah.
Yeah, so Glimmerman, you're right there with me. Yeah, definitely. Just now, when I look at our left tackle, we all can see it. I mean, I don't see. We make the suggestions in the sense that, what we think would be a better outcome, but obviously we've been proven many, many times they don't give a shit what we think. And where we thought that first year that, hey, you should not move Tyler Smith out there, leave Tyrone Smith out there, leave Tyler Smith at guard. That way, things happen, but they just switched him out there. And that second year, you're like, okay, maybe you go ahead and stick him out at left tackle. And then they stuck him at guard and they didn't move him at all during the season, even when times got rough. So it's interesting to see what they decide to go in the future here. What are you laughing about?
I just love looking at the chat. How many Cowboys running backs ever went to another team and mounted to anything? Yeah, Ronnie. Well, I know who didn't. That would be DeMarco Murray. Thank you.
Probably the most successful was Bo Scandrick or something.
Yeah, right. Man, if you bring Zeke, you have to feed him. I'm talking bringing the Pink's mobile food truck to every road game. Get him a Guadalajara. Bitch, make sure it's
Jeff,
after the
switch it
game.
up. Show him my big, huge full him.
Yeah, Ultra Brock Hoffman. Everybody's down on Brock Hoffman. I like Brock Hoffman.
I like Brock. I like.
Here's the
Bass.
deal, and I wrote this down. Okay, I want your guys' opinion in the chat, and I think I know where this is going. And I want Phil's opinion. I know where Phil's going with this, and I know where I would go. All right. I'm like in the first round, I'm captain trade down unless 2 players are there. Now, I'm saying 2 players because I expect other guys to be long gone. Okay. If there's 2 players there, Amarius Mims or Jackson Powers Johnson, who I expect to be gone, I'm not taking Barton at 24. Okay. So, if Mims and Jackson Powers Johnson are there, are you sticking and picking, and which one are you taking?
Oh man, if I'm sitting there right there, I'm taking my center, man. Like again, as I say this, okay, give me the top 10
actually
tackles.
Changed my mind, but
Give me the top 10 tackles in the league. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You start naming them off, right? Give me the 5 top centers in the league. You can't. It's a hard thing to do. So when you have a possibility of a guy that can be a center of your whole offense, the guy calling the offensive plays in the first round to be that centerpiece for everything going forward, man, how do you not do that? You can only name a top 5 if you're lucky. Maybe you're going top 3 just because you're so huge into football that you happen to know centers, but you really can't do it after what Kelsey just walked away from football just now. It's a hard position to get top 5. And so if you have a possibility, again, I'm going back in the circle, but if you have a possibility of getting somebody there, you go and get them.
Yeah, this is the tough one for me, but this is how I'm looking at it here. That's a tough one. I think I would.
Yep, Vinny. Yep, my cousin Vinny, right there, man.
This is
you
a tough
build
one.
from within. It's all in the
This is a tough one because I love Mims so much. Mims, I don't think they're moving Tyler Smith. So
he farted and he got hurt at the draft. I worry about that a little bit with Mims. Because again, man, what do I hate the most? Josh Paul and Walesko, and that's their main thing. You know, is the injury thing.
I would probably, if they're both there, I know what Ultra's saying. If they're both there, I think they're going to go Mims. I honestly believe they're going to go Mims, and they're going to plug him in at left tackle. His 8 games, it doesn't mean nothing. He's a beast. 6'7", out of Georgia. Just a mountain of a man, and he played great against great competition in his 8 games that he started in college. Jackson Powers Johnson, he comes in and is a quarterback, but you could get centers later. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking they take Mims over Johnson, but Zach Frazier out of West Virginia.
I don't know how you can even do that. I don't even think it's a discussion.
Yeah, I know, and that'll be fun when we're there.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real. I mean, if there's like 4 or 5, if you got those two, and then you got some like defensive interior guys, some linebackers sitting there like that, man, how don't you trade back?
Yeah,
you know. So I mean, but if you got, again, to me, if there's a guy, I do not switch back.
Well, if they're both gone,
if the center falls to me, but if they're both gone, yeah,
then I want to trade back. I mean, Ultra wants to take receiver.
Thank you, Vinny. Exactly.
I don't think that we're taking receiver.
I can't trust a tackle or whatever that just gets hurt before going into the league.
Who
like I like
that,
those
Vinny?
durable,
yeah.
I like those durable
hurt?
guys. I mean, you look at Zach Martin. I mean, you weren't hearing about any of that kind of stuff when he was coming into the league. So it's just,
all right, that's
it's
a good
not
stat.
what I want to hear.
See, Ultra's pulling out stats. I can't.
Here we go.
Only 1 first-round offensive line on each Super Bowl winner the last 10 years. So that's the thing.
I'd rather go down that road.
Yeah, let's go down.
It's like saying the running back situation,
you know. I just hope Twiz. Let me ask Twiz this. Rumors are flying that the Eagles are going to take Jackson Powers Johnson.
See, that's to me would make a lot of sense to me. And it would set them up for.
What would you think of that, Twiz? If the Eagles took Jackson, that would be like the biggest gut punch in the whole world. If the Eagles took Jackson Powers.
For some reason, I thought they took his center
Well,
not too long ago.
I'm just telling you what the rumor is.
Well, yeah, I seen that rumor like a while back. So yeah,
And I just saw it again. It's like,
and when their center retired, I was like, well, no, that would just
Philly D. That would probably be the great pick, Landon Dickerson, right?
But that's
your
where
guy now.
That's where if he starts falling, that's where Dallas would know
They would
that
do it just to stick
and
us.
trade up. That'd be where the very rare.
No name. Are you trolling, man? Is this all you're doing?
No, he's been good. He's been good.
Okay. Michael Gallup over Jerry Rice. Twiz, he's a beast.
Crazy.
I don't want that. And don't get me wrong, I don't know.
Are you talking about Jerry Rice Jr.? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Jerry Rice Jr. came out and said that he would like to play
I agree with that. I think Eagles might go either corner. Now that you got CJ, you're not taking the safety. You're going to go corner.
It wouldn't be bad, though, to take one because they're.
Do you like Wiggins, Ultra Cowboy? You like Wiggins?
They need to work on that defense. They definitely need to be working on that defense.
Terry and Arnold will be gone. I love Kenyon Mitchell out of Toledo. If he's there for the Eagles, I think that should be your pick. Nate Wiggins, he kind of reminds me of the dude Washington drafted last year. He's like 6'1", but he's like 173. But yeah, but he's pretty good. Kool-Aid McKinstry, I expect to drop into the second round because of the fracture in his foot. So everybody,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And I get very nervous picking corners high.
Yeah.
I get very, very nervous about that. That is just something to me. It's like that's that lower percentage swing and a miss kind of type of thing. You're trying to hit some offensive line a little bit more to solid 75% striking possibility. Where the center is like 25%.
Get Verse. Oh God, don't get Verse. If the Eagles get Verse, I'll be pissed. Oh God. You know who I love, Twiz, and he's not until probably early second round, is Darius Robinson out of Missouri. 6'5", 285 edge rusher. I love me some Darius Robinson. So Ultra loves Wiggins. I think he might drop, man, because of his size. Help me out with the Commanders corner that was light in the ass last year, but tall. A press corner. Who was that? I know they know who it is. The smart people know who it is. Cowboys had formals with Wiggins and Arnold. I think Arnold was long gone, but yeah. Arnold's my number one. Obviously, I think it's everybody's number one. I liked Arnold even when Kool-Aid was healthy. So it's getting exciting. We're less than 6 weeks from the draft. Phil,
I'm excited, man. I'm excited about this. I have friends that I used to live in Detroit, so like, you got to try this place, you got to try that place, and you're like,
cool.
Like,
we need to find a place to stream day 2, most likely. Hopefully, we can stream day 1. Emmanuel Forbes, Linda, thank you. That's who he reminds me of, but actually a better cover guy, I think. Eagles going Guyton, really. Oof. Glimmerman, what's up, big guy? Is there a big number of D tackles or O-line coming out? What position is loaded? Offensive tackle is loaded. Not defensive tackle.
I would say is loaded. Defensive tackle, you're going to have.
I would say loaded is offensive tackle and wide receiver, right? Wide receivers loaded. Offensive tackle.
We're just not interested.
No, but there's some stud wide receivers.
Some good running backs you can get deep.
And I would say corner and runner. I would say linebacker is not deep. Defensive tackle.
I'd say there's about 6 or 7 linebackers where if you got one of those guys, if you're hoping maybe 2 of them that you're like,
but after
those
that,
are your guys. After that, it drops off quite a bit.
Right.
You know.
Speaking of linebacker,
you may find some role players and stuff like that.
I got a question for Ultra because me and Phil differ here. If you're picking in the Ultra, Edger and Cooper in the second round, or Where is he? Junior Colson in the 3rd round. Knowing what's on there, would you go Colson? Now, you got to remember, we have to draft a round ahead, and we don't have a 4th as of right now. Would you go Cooper in the 2nd or Colson in the 3rd? I mean, anybody can answer this. You like Cooper in the 2nd.
I like Cooper.
Oh, I love Cooper, but right now I'm thinking that's who the pick might be. I don't know if they don't make it to us.
I have a couple of favorite linebackers when you really honestly talk about it. Like when I look at the linebackers, there's a couple of them that I do fall in love with. That I'm going to be so heartbroken, especially when I see them with other teams. Let's be real.
I'm hearing Colson in the 4th.
If everybody else gets wiped out and we have to move back into maybe the early 2nd round, I'm one of those guys that love Peyton Wilson. Man, I am a guy that thinks he can really, he can take over that LVE spot. He big guy, big white dude, gonna wear that almost the exact same jersey. You can stick on him. You're like, oh yeah, that's LVE.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Ultra. He likes Junior Colson. Now, where's Junior Colson gonna go? Does he last till 3, Ultra? He's saying he's like overshown. Cooper.
Edgar Cooper, I like him and stuff. Big linebacker. If you want a linebacker, there's some guys there that Cooper. There was the guy from
Colson,
North Carolina,
238.
Cedric
and Cooper is 6'2", 230. So actually,
I don't like Colston. I'm not a big.
But he's bigger than Cooper. Peyton Wilson, I'll take over Cooper. 6'4", 233, 11 surgeries. I'll take him. That's perfect for us in the 2nd round. I think Eagles end up with a Peyton
Jeremiah
Wilson.
Trotter.
I think they could end up with Jeremiah Trotter.
Yeah, I like that. I like that linebacker from Notre Dame. He's a coverage linebacker, Lufasu or something.
Oh God!
Wow.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
It's just once you get to once you get past those names there, that's where it drops quite a bit after that.
Ladd McConkey, huh?
Ladd McConkey.
Brad Harris.
Brad Harris.
What are you doing, man? I love you, but you need to take care of yourself, man. Even though I don't always agree with you, Brian, I will always support you and your channel. No matter what players teams get, you still have to play the game. Yeah, man. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. You don't have to do that. I really appreciate you.
You think so, Ronnie? You think so?
What's Ronnie saying?
Ronnie says the Cowboys will make the playoffs this year.
I'm not even talking that, Ronnie. Listen, man, there's a lot that needs to take place between now and then. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not, but I don't want to even go there right now. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at this team. I don't know who I want, but I'm annoyed.
I know they have a guy other than Kendrick.
Yeah. I thought that let me go to
now I understand what my wife feels like. I'm mad at you. I don't know why exactly. I don't know exactly what I want, but I know you're doing something wrong.
Free agent tracker. Let's see here. Calvin Ridley got friggin' paid. That's all I know.
Dude, how do you get paid on hopes?
Jeez, Christ.
How do you get paid on hopes? Like you fucked up so much, and then they're just like, well, I think you could do well.
No, they don't.
Are you sorry?
Are you
sorry?
Way.
I'm sorry. All right, we'll give you a big contract.
Night 3. They have Vegas has Dallas to the favorites to win the division.
The hell are they looking at?
Ladd McConkey. I really like McConkey. I don't know that they do, but I do. I think he's going early 2nd, so it might be in an area where we're not going to get him. Let's see here. Details on Joe Flacco's Colts deal. Colts are signing quarterback Joe Flacco to a 1-year deal worth $8.7 with $4.5 guaranteed. All you did for Cleveland and they wouldn't re-sign you, shame on them.
Yeah,
shame on you, Cleveland. All right, so this is what we have left. The top 10 free agents on the board. Eric Armstead, number 1.
I think he's going to try to get money. If somebody doesn't pay him, I think that might be his rude awakening to taking the lower contract.
He wants to get back at the Niners. Come to Big
this is exactly how. This reminds me of a Bruce Irvin kind of guy. So I could see them signing somebody like that, especially with Zimmer. You know, that'd
Come
be
to the
that
circus,
bridge in between.
baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tyron Smith is number 2 on the list. Justin Simmons, he's like a safety on the Broncos.
From the Denver,
Yeah. Chase Young, I would be into. I would be into Chase Young.
Yes,
I know
would be
he's
as well.
underwhelmed, but he's still Chase Young.
You
And
get him under
maybe
the
you
right
could-
defensive coordinator. Oh yeah, he would shine.
That's the thing. I might be.
But if you do that, you got to get rid of Sam Williams. Can I be real? If you bring him in, you got to get rid of Sam Williams because Sam is going to be a cancer in the locker room because he was already vocal, and you're going to bring in somebody brand new.
We need to run.
I'm just
Sam.
saying, the 1-2 kind of thing that would come with it. It's just, trust me, I would love to have that problem. Though.
Josh Reynolds, wide receiver, Lions, like him a lot. Jadavian Clowney, edge, no thank you. Kyle Duggar.
I would be okay with Clowney.
Yeah, but he was available last year at some point, and
I would still take him. I mean, I don't.
Kyle
it's
Duggar,
all like seeing
safety.
I'm not dating that girl. She was single last year. I'd be like, well, I mean,
Kevin Zeitler, guard. We really don't need a guard. DJ Reader, there's my guy. He's not a perfect player, but he's number 9.
I would take it. Replace Gallimore with that one.
DJ Wanham, edge rusher out of Vikings. Now I'm good. But yeah, give me your DJ Reader, Chase Young, Eric Armstead.
DJ Reader.
Yeah, one of those 3.
Those 3 guys. Yeah.
Any one of those, I'll be tickled. I'll be tickled pink, as they say. So, so let's see here. So yeah, we have signed Trent Sieg and Eric Kendricks. Now with our remaining free agents that we have,
Hankins should be the next one.
Who?
I think. If you're Hankins and Gilmore,
yeah,
should be your next 2, and then CD should be the extension. So yeah, I mean, whether you're getting somebody out of free agency, I don't know, but you need to open up some money. And that's the only way you're going to start doing it.
What are you doing with Terrence Aluminum Steel?
Well, I would expect him to be better this year.
Tart
coming
might
off
be
the
an
second
option
year.
too. Yes, Tart.
Coming off that second year, I expect him to be a lot better. Again, I've never been extremely impressed by his game, but I mean, he hasn't looked like last year. He looked, just really bad. But I think that had a lot to do with the fact that he couldn't get that quick step like he could before. So I'm interested to see. I mean, they still need to help him. I mean, when your tackles struggle, I mean, you need to get your tight ends out there, and which they started doing at the end of the year, and you need to start chipping with your running backs. So,
yeah. I was surprised. I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah,
Mike Williams was released. He's 29, but he always seems to be hurt.
He's a disappointment to me. He's right on that level of Mike Evans. Let's be real. Like Mike Evans is a league guy, and there's a lot of Tampa Bay fans, and I have friends that they're excited that he got re-signed. I'm like, I am always been that whole he can be great, but he can be also terrible. He can also be wide open and just drop a ball. He can catch 3 touchdowns in one game and just totally disappear the next 3 games. So I mean, I've never been extremely excited about Mike Evans and what he brings. So yeah, him staying in Tampa, I guess that wasn't a huge thing. It's just some of these other ones. What's going to happen with Gallup? Are they going to be able to trade him off? Man, likely not, right?
Yeah.
Unless somebody's really desperate, they don't want to get into a bidding war with other teams,
Yeah. Tart is a big man. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Tart either. He's not on the top 10 list, but yeah, a Tart. Let's see.
Gallimore is gone, and that's why I wanted gone. I wanted to replace, but you need to replace that spot, and so that's what I'm talking about. Just bringing those type of guys in, like DJ Reader. I mean, yeah, he's better than what you had last year, and you bring in Hankins back. Oh, love it. Yeah, you're right, Philly D. That's the words exactly right there. Williams is good. He's just inconsistent.
Yeah, and he's hurt a lot too.
Yeah.
So again, Ultra says they'll restructure Diggs and Steele to sign free agents post June 1, cut Gallup for the rookie class there. And
I think that's what that is exactly what it is. It's going to be a post June 1st.
Yeah, and you save 9.5 on the salary cap. Yeah, I know there's dead money this year and more next, but
I like who we have in house. I mean, let's just be real. If you're going to go, okay, I like CeeDee Lamb there. I like Cooks. I like Tolbert being in that slot. I like Jalen Brooks being in that slot
there
as well.
You go. There you go.
I like some of those young guys. I mean, we brought in that free agent Bennett, big receiver and stuff. They let him go. They brought him back in right away. So I mean, there's some guys there.
Don't forget, we got John Stevens, the tight end.
Stevens and the tight end. There's some tight ends
there. Who tore an
ACL.
He was a receiver in college who's converted to a tight end who was.
And he was already practicing very early last year.
Yeah, he was
getting back into it. So I like the fact that he has a possibility.
He was playing the best of any of our tight ends, Jake Ferguson included. I understand it was practice,
remember, we were big on that when Ferguson got drafted. We had a whole video talking about how Ferguson was going to replace. You got to
repost that a video. So I saw Mark do it. Go back in the annals and grab that video of Jake Ferguson and repost it out there so people can watch it. We were on that early. You were on it early, and then I jumped on the bad one. It was, it's everything that he's only going to get better. People, the Dalton Schultz can run his mouth all he wants. Jake Ferguson is just a better player. So
let's just be real. When I look at Dalton Schultz and everything, and you might have been asked the question, but to me, it's like being in a breakup. This guy just can't shut his mouth. You just be like, yeah, well, that's what it was, and then you move on.
True.
Somebody asks you a question, you just go, well, I really like where I'm at right now. You don't have to start talking, but again, if you say too much to him, he'll just block you. So watch out.
Yeah. I'm not nervous, Drew. Again,
nervous about what?
Well, he's an Eagle fan, and listen,
okay. No,
I give them credit for being aggressive, but honestly, I would have went in different areas, but what they're obviously doing is listening to the defensive coordinator and what he wants, and they should, I guess. Yeah, but we've been down this road before, right, Phil, with our ownership following, whether it was what was his name out of Tampa, Rod Marinelli. We would draft for what Rod wanted. We would draft, we would lean too hard of what he wanted or other coordinators, and I think sometimes at fault. Sometimes it didn't work out.
I'm interested to see Luke. What does Luke do? Sorry, they were talking about the tight ends and stuff. I'm interested to see if Luke takes that next leap. What's an off-season workout look for Luke Schoonmaker? Is he going to come in here looking like a badass tight end? Is he going to be looking like Mark Andrews?
The one thing about Luke Schoonmaker, and whoever brought that up, or if it was Phil, that's great, because the other thing, he was lingered with that foot. He was lingered with that plantar fascia. That's not fun. I've had it, but and I'm not an athlete, so I've had it. The other thing that was frustrating, and I think it all led from he didn't have a full off season. His blocking suffered. The one thing he was known for, he didn't do great. I expect him to be a lot better. So yes, I think he'll be fine. Now, getting back to Jake Ferguson, I don't like 4.8 tight ends, but I was wrong about Ferguson. Again, what I like about Ferguson is his hunger, his drive, how he interacts with his team. His father-in-law, he played for Bobby Alvarez of Wisconsin. I believe he played for him, but that's his father-in-law.
Yeah, he did.
He has that mentality.
His grandfather was coached there as well, too.
He's not afraid of the big lights like Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz he wants to be in the little aquarium with the little fish. You don't want to be in the big aquarium where all the eyes are on you and you're expected. He was running his mouth about, they were having tours, through the stadium, and listen, Dalton Schultz, you're right where you belong. Houston, you have a hell of a team there. Enjoy your career. Just, shut up about the Cowboys, because not everybody can play for the Cowboys.
Exactly. So everybody, the Coyote says, what about Stevens? Yeah, we were talking about Stevens. He said, we may be stacked tight end. And I expect us to add another tight end in this offseason to actually push McKeon out. I think this is going to be the first time, because you're going to have another guy in that loop. You got to have Stevens, Jefferson. I think Jefferson. Wasn't there another guy named Jefferson? I swear. Oh, that might have been the linebacker I'm thinking about.
I think it was Al. Was it Al Jefferson?
Yeah, I think that's the word. But I think you're going to pick up another guy, even if maybe he's in the draft or something that might fall to you. Then I think, McKeon might be that guy out. the door just because you're going to have such a young group. Again, I haven't been huge on Hendershot, but I'd love to see him get an opportunity because that's another dude that has that dog in him. It's just that I always kind of chalk a mess up for Hendershot. So I'm hoping with the not being young rookie anymore that he's got that out of the system. No, I am not in law enforcement. Man, language on you. No.
You blow your phone with that mouth?
Let's see.
I'm playing drops. You can't hear.
Oh, I can't hear it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Ma, the meatloaf!
No, that's anything wrong at all, man. Like I think each team is getting better. I think the only team that's not is New York. But you know, the offseason isn't done. You know, they're the ones that need to improve one of the most, and they've lost pieces instead of adding pieces. But they did. Who did they sign? They did sign somebody, didn't they?
Who's that?
New York. Who did New York sign?
Oh, they traded for Brian Burns, and then
Burns. That's what it was.
Brian Burns.
That was a really good pickup for them. I think that's right there. Burns on the opposite side of
What an idiot!
What's this guy from Oregon?
What a loser! Good.
Kevon.
Good. More
Thibodeau.
Right now.
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. There it is. Yeah. That always gets that spelling.
Leave me in the trenches taking grenades, John.
Phil is into what? Reggaeton. I don't know what that is.
Into reggaeton. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually Hispanic. I know I may not look it, but I actually am. So.
Yeah. Just tell me what menudo is.
Oh man, I love menudo.
What is it?
I grew up. It's something that if I tell you what the ingredients is, you'll never want to eat it.
Oh, it's like soft, right? It's like
it is like intestines, the inside part.
I don't have a problem with intestine.
Yeah, it's in like a soup type of thing with sometimes some people use it hominy and stuff. Some people don't. But no, I mean,
got them there hominy grits.
So let me go back here because we were talking about earlier. We were talking about some of these ones that we really hit on the number with. We talked about Tony Pollard. We talked about there were some ones that were kind of like written in the stars. You saw Fowler going over Dorrance Armstrong. Who did you really think Dorrance Armstrong was going over to? I didn't see it. Maybe Seattle. Seattle was a team that maybe could have got him or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But we knew he was going to Washington. There were some guys there that we thought was like Curse. I thought Curse was probably gonna follow him over there. So do you think again with this next wave now
to renegotiate as you go along?
That first week, how free agency happens starts to kind of slow down a little bit. You're still going to see some signings and everything like that. Do you still see the NFC East being really active? Of course,
yes. I think the Eagles are
Cowboys.
winding down. The Eagles are going to re-sign Devontae Smith, in my opinion. I don't know how much they have left, but they have money left. They will re-sign Devontae, and then they have a boatload of draft picks. So the Eagles are winding down, and they've done well. Giants, excuse me. The Giants, I don't know their cap situation, but they're probably going to hit the draft.
They have something, right?
They have some high draft picks coming up, so they're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. They still got, I would probably not take Harrison and go with Joe Alt or one of those tackles, and then go, second round with your wide receiver with a McConkey, the old Phil McConkey, son lad.
They need to sell jerseys, man. They got to sell jerseys.
Yeah, I know.
You got nobody else to sell jerseys.
And
now.
Washington,
got Barkley gone.
I think Washington has made some good moves that we touched on, but you know what?
I love that, Vinny. I hope so.
They
I hope he's eating
spent a lot of money on average players. So whatever.
Well, that's the thing about free agency. That's what I'm talking about. You can't get everybody
Yes,
free agency.
Maureen,
That's where you eat up the most money. You're obviously your cheapest way to do it is draft. So you understand why Dallas loves to do it that way. It's just, to me, it just seems like if they were a team that really, really did their whole drafting, they would get rid of guys.
What the fuck is your problem?
Picking up draft picks or moving back and adding draft picks for future stuff, but they don't do any of that. So to me, it's like, okay, you
I
value
think you should
the
be
draft
down
a
on your
little bit more
fucking
than anything
knees.
else, but you don't come at it like I'd rather be throwing away draft picks in the sense of, cutting them later, But I want to pick them, man. I want to get those guys on the roster initially, and then kind of be choosy and going, oh, well, you let this guy go.
What do we
3,
call
4
these
years later,
big
you can't even
things?
start somewhere else. But you eventually going to do that when you have a roster full of talent.
Yeah. Yep. How can we find that out, Phil?
About what? That's the question. About what?
Jordan needs to find Maxie's workout. Philly D, he'll put on the weight. No, 30 pounds for a guy like that ain't nothing. He was probably starving himself. Thanks, Dan Quinn. I saw somebody in the chat earlier. Oh my God, it's gonna take months and it'll be a year. Nah, hell no.
Everybody,
hell
I was saying everybody knows it's easy to gain weight.
Yeah. He's always been that big. He must have been eating
one good weekend. He can boom
2 Rosies a day, vegan hot dogs or something, because he wasn't eating much to keep that weight off. But yeah, it can only help. Game time, how's it going? Reven S, how are you? What's going on? Go over the cap and go look at Eagle situation. Go to over the yeah. Okay, I can do that. I have it on my favorites somewhere. Over the cap. You could talk to them while I find it.
No, I'm like looking at this. Yes, I mean we're Mazilavi coming up with the, if he can get back to the weight that he originally was, I think this defense.
I don't know if it's up to date though.
I wasn't a big fan of Durden. I think that's what his name was, or defensive line guy. I thought he was a great defensive coordinator when he was a coordinator. He won some championships as well. I think that was a European whole thing. But I wasn't a big fan of. I didn't think he was bringing something. When you look at guys like Leon Lett was here, or
it's not up to date.
Greg Ellis is going to be here. Those are guys that you're like, okay, he's been in the trenches. He knows how to the situations, and he can teach these type of things. It's harder for me to think that a guy that's like 5'9" is talking, this is what you need to do. I'm not trying to poke, but I'd rather have somebody that's kind of been there.
Yeah, they haven't updated over the cap, so unfortunately, it's probably going to be a while with all the moves. But yeah, so. Just looking at here on my list here. Let's see here. We can get to the chat's really been awesome tonight. Oh, Harrison Smith. That's what I wanted to bring up. We were talking about Harrison Smith. He's 35, possibly coming here. He took a pay cut. That's why he was never released. He agreed to a pay cut. He's still going to make $9 million this year, which is why he's staying in Minnesota. So shout out to Harrison Smith, probably his last year in the league. We're not going to get him, and we don't need that many old guys. Harrison, I was telling Phil a couple weeks ago, Harrison would have been nice to come here to kind of help out, because Zimmer loves really good safeties, which is why I'll be curious to see what he thinks of our deeps, his safety, Malik Hooker, because, Malik... He's average at best. But
compared to what? I think we tend to forget a little bit about the struggles that we had, and at least we have 2 safeties back there that can do the work. I feel better about Malik Hooker back there than I do about Jeff Heath back there. You know what I'm saying? Can we get better at the safety position? Hell yeah, we can. I think we can almost say that about every position. If really, corner maybe is a possibility, but that's going to be your depth. Can your depth get better? Hell yeah, it can get better. But I think you can almost point at every position on this team and go, yes, that can get better. So I just don't see any position out of the loop. I think the only thing that you may have that you don't have to waste a draft pick on is a kicker, punter. So feel good about that. It's the special teams, So that's something we haven't had in a while. How many seasons we going in there going, man, we really need to get these kickers. We need to get 10 kickers in here and just have them do a battle royale. And with last man standing is the one that kicks for our season. We were trying anything to get somebody in here. So the fact that we don't have that stress going forward, that doesn't mean we won't have that problem. But as of right now, we don't have that stress going forward about finding at least that guy.
That's a good question. Are we bringing...
I love Wanye Thomas, man. Again, you know this, my boy. I love Wanye. I just see him on the field a little bit more. Woo!
Marcus
I think
Blackman
he's just
asked, are we bringing
turnovers
back
happen.
Jaron?
I for sure thought he was going to be in Washington. That to me makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Would I want him back? Heck yeah, I would want him back. I think he's a good asset. I'm not going to pay him top dollar to be here. That's the only problem. If you're looking between a $3 to
pay that
$4.5 million contract a year, I mean, yeah, then I'm bringing him back.
I don't think he's coming back.
I don't think so either.
I think, like you said, Wanye, Marquise Bell. I don't know how that's going to shake out. We got Donovan Wilson, Dono.
Well, there's some guys there. Yeah, I mean, Wilson. Yeah, that's a great example. I forget about Wilson.
Well, Wilson, you got to remember, he got hurt literally the first day of training camp last year and came back like a month or even 6 weeks into the season, and I think that's what really hurt him. He was coming on towards the end of the year, but again, that just goes to show you. Yeah, Chiz says Curse is out of here. I believe so. I think you'll see him in the DMV as well with Washington. Marquise Bell doesn't know what he wants to be, safety linebacker. It's not his fault.
I think he knows. I don't think it was his.
He don't want to be linebacker. He
was willing to do everything. That's what I loved about it. He was willing to tackle, at least, But we don't have to.
We did get one, Darlene. We got one.
Come on, man. Finally! Woo!
I love the Rounders, Philly D. Come on now.
Yeah,
Petty
so I mean, we have
KGB, come
Wilson,
after
so I
my
mean,
ass.
it's like, so I mean, I just again, offensive lineman is my main thing. A running back deep, linebackers deep, and just guys in that defensive line. I mean, that's the big part we need to improve. We need to improve that run game. Zimmer's a big emphasis in stopping that run. So I like that being a main part of your defensive strategy instead of. Let's be real, man. I never really had a feel like I'm a big Dan Quinn fan as a defensive coordinator. Came up in big situations. This is where we were let down a lot of the times when we needed that defense to really hold on. That's when it wouldn't happen. And of course, the offense wasn't helping by not getting going late. But again, they at least did score. But that's where you need your defense to keep you into the games. And that's just something we didn't have. So it's just, I don't know if you can change it all within a year. But we're going to see it, That's the thing. It's just there's a lot of question marks going forward.
Marcus Blackman, Marquez Bell was good at linebacker, but it was too light. Yeah, he was. Yeah. It was an emergency. That's what that was. That was totally an emergency, and it is what it is. Who was a good running back in center? He did well, was it? Well, here's the running backs. We talked about it. Obviously, Trey Benson, I love. Jonathan Brooks is coming off the ACL. I think he's dropping, but he's still maybe the first running back taken. He's already running. Not a big Will Shipley guy. I do like Braylon Allen.
I like Marshawn Lloyd.
I'm not in on Blake Corum.
Mayan Williams. I don't like Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Mayan Williams.
How about Bucky
from Ohio
Irving?
State.
From your old
Bucky Irvin's he's tricky.
He's short.
I think he's a good number 2. I think he's a great number 2 back. If you got a guy that's a bruiser, he's gonna be he's gonna be a shotgun. Like he just shoots out.
I like the guy you said. He's small, but Lloyd is 220. Marshawn,
he's a big. He runs big. He runs big.
You know what the
Watch
difference?
His film. Like he runs big.
You know what the difference between him and Corum is? When he runs away from people. Corum always gets caught.
Through. Yeah.
If you're small,
you can't do that.
If you're small, you better not get caught. And he gets caught. So, who else? I know Dallas worked out Jalen Wright. I'm not real familiar with Isaiah Davis. I'm not. I gotta watch him. I'm just looking at some of the names. Dylan Johnson, University of Washington. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. We need somebody. Obviously, if we can get me Trey Benson, 6'1", 223, I'll take it. Everybody seems to have us taking Braylon Allen. Overall size will be just. He's only 20 years old. Can absorb the bounce off, solo hits, high level a goal line back with his size and mass can plow through the trenches. Kind of a Derrick Henry light type of guy. So, we shall see. Reven asks, Coyote, how's it going? How are you? Malik is still there. Vinny Hagan. Yeah, Malik is still there.
Oh, yeah, Malik Davis.
Yeah, Malik, he's on our futures deal. He has a futures deal with the Cowboys, so he'll be on the roster. Well, that's the problem.
Did they bring
Fly
back a guy
Parks.
like Rico?
That's the problem about these young backs is the blitz. That's why you need to get, if you're Dallas, you need to get an A.J. Dillon, Ezekiel Elliott. Just to be able to come in on third down and pick up that blitz. But what's your thought on J.K. Dobbins? I don't want to, go too long tonight, but J.K. Dobbins. This is my thought, Phil. J.K. had a torn ACL, I believe, in the first month of the season. He's already running. I don't know what his health situation is, but to me, bring J.K. in on the cheap, and he's going to try and prove himself.
1 year deal.
Yeah, he's going to try and prove himself to get himself a big deal next year. So, I lost you. We lost Phil. Phil's paused. You guys see me, right? Yeah, Phil's paused. He's zapped out. But anyway, yeah, let's see. Hey, Rhonda Lovely. What's up, Rhonda? How are you? How's my stream health? Good. So it's Phil. Phil's the one that locked up. Limpke is big enough to pick up blitz. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't look good at it last year, Vinny, but he is big. Brooks will be ready by training camp, already running. Yeah, where do you pick him, Ultra? That's my question to you. Yeah, I know. It's Phil. He's on pause. He just ate some menudo. Now you got me solo, baby. That's all right. He'll be back. Phil's down for the count. 1, 2, yeah. He's like, this shit's way too long. I never go an hour and 15. I'm out. But that's all right. We're still going strong. We got 50 strong in here. We got 51 likes. I appreciate it. Anybody who hasn't hit the like yet, please do so now. I would appreciate it. You guys can hear me, right? It says the thing is good. Let me see. I'm going to tell them I'm going to wrap it up. So. But, Brian, are you going to do another mock draft? Yes, Brad. I will do mocks every week. I had 2.0. I do them all the time just for fun, but I like picking mine and just throwing different now that, because it's going to change. Even though you shouldn't do it this way, teams are going to draft for need. You know that. Teams are going to draft for need, and now that they're filling holes, it's a little easier to see what these teams are going to take. So, yes, Brad, I will be doing another one. I'll do one a week. I may go on and do some lives. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll do one a week up until the draft. So, Paul Gunther was our best hire. I hope so, Ultra. I like him, but again, we shall see. Dirty Sanchez, what up, man? Marcus Blackman. Mike Zimmer is great defensive coordinator, so we're in good hands on D. We got to give him pieces, so I'm hoping that we can give Mike some more pieces. Again, we haven't lost anybody that I wanted to keep. So, again, it's more about what the other teams in our division did rather than what we didn't do. Okay, Derrick Henry would have been nice, and then draft a young guy. Excuse me. All right, thanks, Oscar. Let me see what Phil's saying. Okay, so Phil's not coming back. He lost internet. He lives in South Florida, Rich Garcia, they are always 3 to 4 really good players off from going further into playoffs because the late round picks are starting if those free agent pieces spent $30 million different games. You always got to include free agency in the process. I think they lean too heavily on the draft, but again, Dallas is one of the better drafting teams in the league. Last year was an anomaly, but it scares me. We have to plug some holes. Pause. We have to plug some holes before the draft, so we're not always drafting for need, because it's like, oh, well, we need to get an offensive tackle. We need to get a center. Brock Hoffman will be your starting center. And they'll probably draft a guy. Maybe Bo Lemmer out of Arkansas. Maybe, just looking at some of the centers. Zach Frazier, if we did a trade down, would you like Zach Frazier in the second round? Cedric Rompron Granger out of Georgia. He's a little raw. He's a little light, but he's good. I don't know about Bordellini out of Wisconsin. We've had enough Wisconsin centers, but, Bo Limmer, you could probably get in the fourth round, Who else? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that well versed in center, but yeah. Coyote, I was shocked Green Bay did that. What did Green Bay do? Oh yeah, I really wanted Josh Jacobs. Damn Green Bay. Listen, he got a lot of money. He's the second highest paid behind Saquon. Good for him, and I knew he would be because of the age, the wear and tear on the body. It wasn't Travis Frederick. Yes, he was from Wisconsin. Travis Frederick was the best one, though. He was the man. I don't think Kendrick will start for the boys. If he does, teams will attack the middle. Yeah, he's not the end-all, be-all, but he'll be a piece. He will be a piece. You could be assured one thing, and that one thing is we're going to have some massive meat in the middle. Pause. We're going to have some massive meat in the middle because Mike Zimmer likes big boys in the middle. So Mozzie going to put the weight on. We're going to get somebody else. We may get Sweat in the second round. If not Sweat, just rattle off some of the defensive guys that I like. You got Tavondre Sweat, Michael Hall Jr. out of Ohio State, Braden Fisk out of Florida State. I called Braden Fisk. I liked him before the combine. His stock has gone up. McKinley Jackson out of Texas A&M. Let's see here. There's some guys from smaller schools. So yeah. Frankie Lovett out of Florida State, or Fabian Lovett out of Florida State. I mean, there's a lot of guys, but if you somehow get Sweat, now you're cooking with gas. I think Sweat goes real high in the second round, so I don't know that we're going to get Sweat. Everybody has us getting Sweat. I don't know that we're going to get Sweat. Chelsea James Smith. Welcome to the show, Chelsea. Kendricks is there to help Zimmer and relay in the scheme to plays and players. A player advocate, pretty much. Yes, I agree with you. Definitely not going to come in here and be the guy. See you, Rhonda. You want SEC players? Well, just give me good players. Biotish wasn't trash. He's just not strong enough. I've been saying that all year. Yeah, no, he's a good player. Better than I would say he's average. He's an average center. Better average. He's better at like being the quarterback of the offensive line. He's very good at that. Very smart. But I'm glad we moved on. And yeah, Sturdy Sanchez. I like him at guard, but I don't know if a TJ Bass can play center. I do not know that, but we shall see. Some polls have your guy Powers Johnson at the 27th pick to Arizona, so maybe a chance. Oscar, yeah, he could drop to us. That's why I posed that question to Phil. If you're staring at Mims and Powers Johnson, I think Cowboys go Mims. And they go Brock Hoffman at center. I think that's what they do. What's up, Mr. Cowboy? How are you? So, but we just need to do a few more moves, people. We need to. I would love another linebacker. I don't know that that'll happen. It might, though, because we need him. Give me a defensive tackle in free agency. Bring back Gilmore. If you want to bring back Jordan Lewis, I'm fine with it. Bring back Hankins. Then go draft. Then you're kind of lightening, obviously a running back as well. We're not asking for top of the market guys. Go give me AJ Dillon, bring back Zeke, go get me Dobbins. I don't know. They're talking about Freeman from Chicago. Do you really want Freeman? Darlene Mosher. Hopefully we can at least get 2 or 3 more good players and we'll be just fine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Marcus Blackman. I remember Beata's first game against Hargreaves. He got his lunch taken. Yeah. Rich Garcia. Sweet. Mozzie Hankins, good front. Need backup or 2. Listen, man, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But I'm going to go another 5 minutes, everybody, and then we'll wrap it up at around an hour and a half. I think that would be a good stream. So another 4 minutes or so. So let's talk about whatever you want. At least we don't have to worry about Pollard up the middle anymore. Well, yeah, and the fact that they wanted Pollard back on the cheap, I don't know what they were thinking. You either wanted him or you didn't. That's my thing. Either you wanted him or you didn't. Dirty Sanchez, Coleman at 24, Brooks at 56. Coleman at 24. What Coleman are you talking about? Oh, Keon Coleman. I don't know. Is Ultra still in here? What does he think about Keon Coleman? I don't think he likes him. I think he's too slow for him. Hargrave back-to-back Super Bowl roster. Yeah, exactly. Watch for man's highlights. He's powerful. If they're going to get a linebacker, they better hurry up. There's plenty of guys out there, but yeah, I would like DJ Reader. I don't think we're going to get DJ Reader. Looking at it, I don't see it. So, don't see it. I do not. So, oh man, we need to at least win. At least we don't have to worry about. Yeah, exactly. And Bass can play. Also, Collins is back, and if Collins loses some weight, he'll be good to the left side somewhere. Are we going to bring Collins back? I thought that was just for that year. Lyle Collins, is he still on the roster? I'm not real sure. They show tape of Mims, nasty Eric Williams type. That's why Phil's not here, but I might lean Mims there at left tackle and just see if I can get a young center later and start Brock Hoffman. That's what I might do at this point. Watch out for the fans throwing glizzies on the field this season. Keon Coleman is a playmaker. Michael Irvin was slow. I like Keon Coleman. Love the guy, as a matter of fact. Marcus, Red Couch Boys were worse than y'all last year. Yeah, I might have. Listen, I expected Washington to pick up some Cowboys. But Vinny, if they go the other way, I'm not going to hate it. I love Powers Johnson. I'm just very surprised that Washington didn't go out and get more marquee guys. They got a couple real good players. Not real good. They got Frankie Louvu was real good. Okay, the running back, okay. Austin Eckler is good. But everybody else was average at best. Average at best. So I'm kind of like, okay. I think they're just trying to fill out the rosters, what they're trying to do. They're going to go draft their quarterback of the future. So without a quarterback, you don't have anything. You know, that's my thing. Without a quarterback, what do you have? So, bang, bang, whiner gang. Bang! Bang! Oh! But all right, everybody, that's it for me tonight. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. I'll be back to work tomorrow, so you'll see me with my morning video on the way to work, followed by my 2 o'clock lunchtime chat. Hopefully, Dallas starts doing more moves. Hopefully, the rest of the East slows down a little bit and let us, you know, catch our breath. Howie Roseman's got my head on a swivel. So, that being said, thanks, everybody. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Brad, thanks for the super chat, man. You're awesome. I really appreciate you. Twiz, thanks a lot. Good luck to your squad, man. They're killing it. Giants, I don't see many Giants fans. We need to get some Giants people in here. Not enough Giants people in here. Washington, I saw a few Commanders, and shout out to you. But all right, everybody, I'm out of here. I will talk to you tomorrow. Later. Peace.
Hey, man. What? I'm cool. This is me. We're going to jump on that spaceship and get out of here.
Let's go.
No judgment. Shoot.
To smash that subscribe button. You know what? I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 4 out of 5 avocados. Korg?
I was raised by avocados.
Oh my God! Just kill me now.
Ho ho ho.
Green Giant.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
I think it's going really well. I know. This is literally the first time I took my gun out of the holster. Right.
And that is why we need a triumphant video.